Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Kai'Sa supplementary guide, and today we're going to be talking about Kai'Sa with WITS N. So what you will notice is that the top two players are building WITS N after Bork, and this was an old Kai'Sa build that you did used to go for. However, after WITS N got nerfed, which you can still see the nerf symbol here, most people, including myself, went for Runan's Hurricane as a third item and then into Riftmaker and then a defensive last item. So with WITS N, you're kind of going for the defensive item earlier, and then you're pushing back Runans and Riftmaker, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on in the gameplay. But basically, with the build, it's pretty simple. You want to rush Terminus, of course, to get your Q evolved as quickly as you can. Terminus gives you attack speed, attack damage, on-hit magic damage, as well as stacking resistances, as well as stacking penetration. Basically, it's a huge first item power spike for Kai'Sa. And then you go into your Gluttonous Greaves. Of course, your boots for AD and Omnivamp, and then of course the other Rune King, regular second item for Kai'Sa, more attack speed and more attack damage, as well as giving you the physical vamp, as well as the unhit current health damage and the drain passive as well. And now this is where the WITS N comes in. Now WITS N of course gives you more attack speed and magic resist, as well as giving you more on-hit magic damage, as well as healing you when you're below half health. Now, the main reason why this item is not really built is not because it's a bad item, but it's because that there are better options, right? So, normally going for a Runans, which is going to be your next item, is better because it gives you a little bit less attack speed. However, it allows you to attack three people at the same time, which allows you to stack your passive on 3 people at the same time, and also deal on hit to 3 people at the same time. And yeah, and then whereas WITS N, it gives you healing and on-hit magic damage as well as magic resist, which I personally feel that this is only good if you're playing into a heavy magic damage team, which I will be in the gameplay, which is why I went for this build, but I don't recommend going for this build like just as a default. So then lastly we have Riftmaker. Now Riftmaker of course gives you more Omnivamp as well as a good stat line, and also lets you deal true damage after a couple of seconds in combat, which is just generally very useful. So for the runes, of course, we have Lethal Tempo for the attack speed and the attack range. Brutal, just for that extra damage on your auto attacks. We have Giant Slayer to counter the tanks. Alacrity for more attack speed. And finally, we have Bone Plating for the defensive capabilities. And generally, you always want to go for Flash as well as Exhaust, because with Kai'Sa, of course, 1v1s are very common. So with Exhaust, it will, of course, help you out with those 1v1s. So all that said, let's move on to the gameplay. Okay, so now looking at the gameplay, you can see that in this particular game, there is quite a lot of AP on the enemy team. There's, of course, an Echo mid lane, there's a Seraphine support, as well as a Varus who does do, partial magic damage, does, mixed damage, right? So, decent amount of magic damage, so I thought it was a good time to try out the WITS N build. Now, as I said, personally, I still don't really like WITS N as a third item. I prefer to go for Runans and then into Riftmaker, because I feel that delaying Runans and delaying Riftmaker is just not very good, as Seraphine here gets caught by Leona and flashes to safety. But yeah, I just really think that WITS N after the nerf especially is just really not that good of an item that you really want to go for so early anymore. I feel that WITS N is a lot more of a last item, like if you really need magic resist and you want to go for something a little bit more offensive that's not like, and you don't want to go for Maul. I feel like WITS N is kind of like the way to go there, but I guess I just don't really think that it's really a very good early item, except on some select champions. But WITS N kind of fallen out of favor in general. So you have Varus a little bit overextended, gets caught by Leona Engage, and then we're able to finish him off with the auto. We did miss the Void Seeker there, but thankfully we are still in auto attack range, so we are still able to take him out. So here we can just get a free reset because there's nothing to really do. Seraphine nearly cancels us by accident. I believe that if she knew we were there, she would definitely have actually cancelled us, but I think that she just nearly got lucky, but didn't actually manage to get the cancel in the end.
Ally slain.
So now we're back in the lane. The lane has kind of pushed in, so we're actually kind of keeping it here so that we can get these kind of catches. Seraphine now just getting run down by us. We pop the Q at the very end to minimize the amount of Qs that hit the minions. Like if we pop the Q at the start, Seraphine's going to take nearly no damage because all the Q is going to go to the minions, because it does split evenly among everybody who's in range. So in this case, we are able to wait a little bit longer and then cast the Q so that she takes more damage, and just enough to kill her with the auto attack. So Varus and Seraphine not having the best of times. Now, Kai'Sa is generally not a strong lane champion, but with an engaged support like Leona, she can actually be strong in lane because there is lockdown to apply your passive stacks and also to just allow you to get damage in for free. So with engaged support, Kai'Sa can, of course, be strong in lane, but with an Enchanter, that's definitely not the case. Of course, with that being said, Kai'Sa does work very well with both Enchanters and Engagers, just that, of course, different strengths and weaknesses. With Engagers, you're a lot stronger in lane, but with Enchanters, you're a lot stronger in the mid to late game. So your Seraphine is dangerously close to getting engaged by Leona again, as is Varus. I'm just trying to be in a position where I can reach, which is right here. So I ult in, finish off, or try to finish off the Varus, but it doesn't work. I try to flash to follow, but it doesn't work. I exhaust Echo as I kill Seraphine and kind of ignore the Echo for a little bit. Of course, Echo can't be ignored, so I do end up dying eventually. He still has ult, so Leona is definitely not going to be able to finish him off. But Orianna tries to come in, but doesn't actually really end up doing anything. And yeah, overall a little bit unfortunate in terms of the timing there. Of course, if we had gone in or not gone in, it would have been fine. If we had gone in earlier, it would have been fine as well, because we would have been able to probably kill Varus without Echo interfering. And with Echo there, we can't really just ignore him and chase down Varus. Good news is, though, we did manage to ignore him for long enough to get the kill onto Seraphine, so we did actually at least get a trade back. Although Echo does get the shutdown, which is not very ideal. Seraphine, I'm not quite sure what she's trying to do there. Just randomly throws her all her spells and misses everything. And yeah. So here I have enough for Terminus, so I'm going to back and get myself Terminus, which gets me the Q Evolve. Of course, as I mentioned, this is a very strong early game spike, so you always want to go for this as quickly as you can. Ideally, you can get it before objectives like what I did just here. Obviously, I have 3 kills, so that's not going to happen every game. That will be extremely ideal, because it's going to make you so much stronger when you contest the objective. So here, just checking the bush using the W to ensure no one is inside, and then we're going to clear out the next wave, picking up the toolkit in the meanwhile. And using the toolkit, we can destroy the enemy wards, one there and one more there. So Leona can hide in that bush, knowing that there's no ward in that bush. Enemy team does not have to ward it. Objectives are coming up soon. Looks like our Fiddlesticks does want to go for Dragon, and that being the case, we're going to quickly push out using the help of our Q for wave clear. And then we can rotate to the Dragon. However, this dude is busy farming his Krugs. As the enemy team is busy doing the Dragon, he needs to come over quickly. Echo gets caught out. Chain CC'd by Leona. I'm trying to burst him down before he can ult, but he does manage to get the ult. I can't ult over for the chase, however, and chase him down. Looks like Seraphine's the next target. She goes down. Graves tries to go in. We exhaust him, and then we get the kill on him as well. Now here, unfortunately, Varus ult does end up transferring to me. And then Garrett just flashes over and ults me before he dies, so he does get a shutdown onto me. I should not have gone anywhere near him, since I didn't actually know if he had ult or not. Turns out that he did, and he was able to take me out because of that ult. Now, my team did end up securing the Dragon, so they are now going to go over to the Herald. Now back on the map, I'm going to go back to bot lane and stop Varus from getting any potential plates, which of course he might want to go for because he sees my team on the other side of the map. Now I'm just checking if he's any of those bushes using the toolkit. Turns out he is not. He's actually just behind there. Now I can go for some plates on my own. So here you can see I get 1 plate already. I'm going to force a second plate. So two plates for me here. 300 gold in my pocket, equivalent to a kill basically. And yeah, he can't really stop me. So we are able to pick up those plates. However, now we're not exactly sure where some enemies are. Of course, we know Seraphine is dead and so is Graves, but we can see Echo, so we're actually probably quite safe here to push for plates or whatnot. Checking enemy jungle. No camps here to counter jungle. So you're just gonna go down and continue to shove. We only have like 20 more seconds before plates fall off, so we're trying to get some last plates. We do get one. However, Echo is kind of getting caught. Here we are able to actually ult in. I don't think we were actually needed. I think we could have just stayed and continued farming plates. I don't think we were actually really needed there. But plates are now just gonna fall off. However, we are going to be able to get the tower as a result. So I guess that kind of works out as well. And we are, doing very well. We're really fed 6, 2, and 2 with close to 8k gold. Our Fiddlesticks is actually on par in terms of gold with us as well. But he hasn't really been participating in any of my fights. I haven't really seen him the entire game, which is fine because we're both doing well independently, and that all just works out.
Top turret is under attack.
So here we clear that wave so that we have enough gold for our Bork. We're gonna back and pick up the Bork. And get our E evolve as well. Now honestly at this point, the AP threats are not really doing very well, right? The biggest threats on their team at the moment are actually Garen and Graves, who are actually doing the best, which are the AD threats. But they of course have Echo that can one-shot me eventually, and of course Varus and Seraphine are problems as well with their CC and the potential burst later on in the game. So I still decide to stick to the Wits End build. I did want to try it out anyway. I did play a couple of games of it and I thought it was alright. This is like I think my third game with the Wits End build. And here we're trying to help our Fiddlesticks. So here I spot a very low HP Garen. So here I pop the W onto him, I ult forward, and unfortunately I get chain CC'd by Seraphine and then Garen, and then I get ulted by him and die. Garen actually survives on 1 HP for the moment. Fiddlesticks ulting in, but ends up ulting basically one person, which I guess is fine because he does get the kill onto him. But yeah, I kind of thought I would do a little bit more damage to Garen. That was definitely not the case, and I ended up just getting one shot by him instead. Or not just by him, but just getting chain CC'd and one shot by the enemy team in general. And yeah, it was not quite a fun time, as you can see. So now the second dragon is coming up, and that is going to be Ocean Dragon. Fiddlesticks is already in the area, and I'm making my way over to help him. Leona also already on the scene. Enemy jungle Echo is nowhere to be seen. I mean, he is kind of nearby, but he's not, doing the dragon. So here, I'm not too overly scared of him. You can see I'm actually winning the fight against him. He actually ults in fear, and now Graves is here. So I'm gonna back off. I don't want to take a 2v1. Getting a free Q onto the Graves. Not doing a whole lot of damage to him, to be honest. Now going back to clearing the wave. So here I hit a W onto the Graves. I ult in for the 1v1. I exhaust him, as I mentioned, really important for the 1v1s. And I'm trying to take him out. He flashes over. I think 1 or 2 more arrows will kill him. Then he dashes over, and Echo and Seraphine are now both here, and I can chase. Otherwise, I'm going to definitely die. So unfortunately, we don't get the kill onto the Graves. Here Leona's coming, so I'm just kind of hovering around to just ensure that I'm ready in case any kind of engage happens. Now Echo is back to pushing in the lane, and he does have ult again, so I can't really kill him when he has ult because he's just gonna ult and survive. However, with the help of Leona, who's hex splashing over the wall, we're gonna go on to Echo, who's very predictably on his blue buff. Ults back onto the pit and survives on 1 HP because of course he does. Yone, however, opportunistically does pick up the kill onto the 1 HP Echo, and we do pick up the assist on that one. Now I'm going to continue on farming. And dodging the Seraphine out with the help of the E. Now Garen is running me down, however this time I'm not actually that low and not actually getting chain CC, so this time I'm actually fine. I am able to ult, but I'm not going to ult into tower. I'm just outputting huge amounts of damage. I'm now ulting behind to finish off the kill onto the Varus, or was that the Seraphine? One of them. And we take everybody out aside from the Echo himself. So with that, we should be able to pick up a Baron, as I was looking for a reset. But my team is on Baron. So I decided to come over and help a little bit. I don't actually really think I am needed considering Echo is not even contesting. However, we just get a little bit faster. And with that, we can reset, pick up our Wits and get the W evolve. And we now have that extra magic resist that will come in very handy, of course, against the Echo. And we also Echo and the other AP damage sources. And we also swap over to Armor Boots, so we also have some defensive stats against the Garen as well as the Graves, who at this point are still doing the best amongst their team. So we definitely do want to respect that and get some resistances against them. Now TX is in the mid lane, and my whole team is playing on the top side. You can see that Echo, Seraphine, and Graves are actually playing on the opposite side of the map and going for bounties, which is actually the correct macro play to do. Like if the enemy team is Baron and they're just pushing down your towers, and you're able to just push down 1 or 2 towers to get objective bounties, that is actually the optimal macro play, because you can see that none of us are really going to stop him because we're too busy pushing towers ourselves to really care about him pushing towers. So they are doing a very optimal move. Now, Yone finally actually backs and responds to Graves, but not before Graves takes like 2 towers and 2 objective bounties for his entire team. So, yes, respect to him for making the correct macro play. You don't really see that happening every day. And it even forces Orianna to actually recall. And here, this is a very funky situation, right? Because I'm the only person with a TX, and Graves has managed to create enough pressure that he literally forced my entire team to actually go back and stop him, when really only one person probably was needed to stop him. More than one person actually recalled and went to stop him, and now we don't really have pressure to take down inhibitors, right? So mid lane inhibitor is really low, but it's not dead, and top lane Garen is now pushing out. So here we're gonna force the inhibitor with the help of TX just tanking, and we are able to get that. And Yone is pushing in the bot lane, and we might be able to get a bot lane tier 2. Echo trying to put a stop to it. I'm gonna walk around the long way. He gets tackled by the TX, and I'm getting run down by Garen. Now I'm blasting the Garen instead of the tower because Garen is on me and I'm able to take him out. Now I'm gonna go onto the tower, take out the tower. And now I'm just attacking whoever I can, ulting there for the shield. I'm taking a bunch of damage when I'm able to dodge the Varus Q and survive, getting another 1 or 2 kills there. Yone picks up a double, gets Echo, but does end up dying to the tower in the process. And here I'm just looking to lifesteal, so I'm lifestealing off of these wolves. As my Fiddlesticks picks up the Mountain Soul for my team. And then just getting a little bit more farm as well as just lifestealing back just a little bit in case we need to fight, which of course shouldn't be the case. Now we back, pick up QSS because obviously there's a lot of enemy CC with Seraphine, Varus, Echo, champions like those. A lot of CC, and QSS is a really good buy here. And here the enemy team is all kind of converging onto the mid lane. Huge catch goes in onto the Seraphine. I'm trying to take her out, which we do. Varus outs me, but I go unstoppable. I take out Garen as well. And Fiddlesticks is able to clean up the rest. And with only Echo left alive, here he's even getting run down. I hit the Q onto him, and my team should be able to finish him off. Actually, not quite. But either way, it should be a free win. Echo cannot really defend the base by himself, so it should be all good. Now we just hit over, kill the Echo first, and then we pick up the win. So you can see Wits End on Kai'Sa does work pretty effectively, especially against AP. But now I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you so much for watching the video, and goodbye.